We are coming to you from Khayelitsha. We are pleased to report that there's once again a hive of activity at the Site C taxi rank. Of course, yesterday this wasn't the case. It was dead quiet here, no taxis moving from here because of that strike that happened across the province. That, of course, had a massive impact on thousands of people across the province. But this morning we were out very early when it was still dark. We could see people queuing, the taxis were running, and things were flowing smoothly again. Also reports from across the city that other taxi associations also were on their posts this morning, so it was a bit easier for commuters to get to and from where they needed to be. The strike, of course, was suspended late last night after the ANC intervened. But to talk to us a little bit more about this, we have Basotho Ndungane from the Minibus taxi industry task team to talk to us about it. Mr. Ndungane, thank you very much for joining us. Just explain to us what happened last night. How did the calling off of the strike come about?
A very good morning to you and to the listeners. Indeed, it was a very rewarding experience that we could see the ruling party taking charge of the lives and the realities of the previously disadvantaged individuals, which is majority at the minibus taxi operators. And we want to take off our heads for the president of the ANC and the ANC at large for making sure that it's taking the interests of the commuters at heart, and making sure that in each and every part in South Africa they would make sure that they intervene where necessary to ensure that there is no one being inconvenienced. The ANC had to reach out on us at the 11th hour and making a commitment provincially that they will ensure that there are necessary interventions that must be made either through the National Department of Transport, as well as ensuring that the National Office of SANTACO yields to the expectations of the operators and engages people and make sure that all the parties they will be brought together in the table and try to find an amicable solution in the impasse that has been faced by the Western Cape. But one of the things that were made clear was that there will be a follow-up meeting that is scheduled for this morning, ensuring that we continuously put clear terms of reference on how we are going to resolve that. It is also important to know that one of our demands was the pre-election conference, which is at the heart of that was to ensure that there should be no operator that is being prejudiced by being termed as a breakaway party or breakaway group or suspended. The president of SANTACO must provide leadership to make sure that the Western Cape, as it is due for election, it must have a free and fair election that will be inclusive of each and every operator. How do we go about that? Now the minibus taxi task team and the ANC and other stakeholders are committed to ensure that they will come to a table and engage that. How is that going to be realized? We don't want to see anyone being excluded. We don't want to be viewed being irresponsible. We want to do our work as we are expected.
And you told us earlier that you received a call from the Minister of Police as well last night to find out if things will be running again for the foreseeable future. Will the taxis be operating again?
The National Minister of Police also gave us a call around 10 o'clock last night, wanting to know what is happening in the province and what must be done, that this issue must be done. But at the time he contacted us, we had already taken a decision that we are withdrawing the suspension of service. Therefore, he said he will be watching the progress of this whole thing, and is happy that the interests of the operators and as well as the commuters, it has been prioritized. And he will be watching the progress of that, because he does not want to see any of the commuters being disadvantaged because of internal squabbles of different organizations.
And the taxi industry, we understand, want to remain independent. Why then are you satisfied with the intervention that there possibly could be from the National Department of Transport?
Remember, the National Department of Transport endorsed that the mouthpiece for the minibus taxi industry will be SANTACO. Now, because of that kind of a commitment that was then demonstrated by SANTACO, that they will be representing the interests of the operators, that must be put in action. It must not just be on paper, it must be in action. There are desires, there are needs, there are requirements by the members of SANTACO in the Western Cape. They must provide leadership and ensure that is not being compromised.
Thank you very much. That was Besutu Ndungane of the Minibus Taxi Industry Task Team telling us how the suspension of the strike came about. And Cape Town is once again bustling. People are moving about, going about their business, standing in queues to catch their taxis. And we're happy to report that it seems for now that things have returned to normal in the mother city.